Jen, are we podcasting?
Oh my God, are we podcasting?
We are podcasting against all odds, and let me tell you, we are also in separate rooms.
We are I am safely in my own place where me and all of my snot can not touch people, not
That's
hurt
right,
people.
because this is the hashtag IMOMSOHARD podcast, and you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on all of the socials, but you won't find Jen being social because Jen's got the COVID.
I finally got it, you guys. I'm so mad.
I know.
I jinxed myself because I
Here's
was
why.
bragging.
You
I
yeah,
was
you were bragging, but
I was bragging like,
also
I haven't gotten it. My kids got it. My husband got it. I took care of them. And I was like, I'm going to try to get it so that I won't be sick. Like, I'll be sick with them and then I won't be sick on our vacation. And I didn't get it.
and then we went on the vacation, glorious vacation, and which we haven't taken in 3 years. Might I just remind everybody, we've been on tour. You can buy tickets at imomsohard.com. We have a few shows left. We've been safe. We've been traveling the country. We've been seeing
So safe.
everybody, following the rules, doing what we can, vaccinating, all this good stuff. And Jen gets it when we go on our first vacation in 3 years.
Yeah.
So I feel so bad for her. And she's been so sick. So she's such a trooper for being here today. And I feel terrible for her that she's sick. But
I
no one
can't.
else really cares that you're sick.
No, they don't. Nobody. And I don't care that I'm sick. I'm pissed off that I'm sick because no mom has time to be sick. And I am not ungrateful because I thank God for science because if I would have gotten this without my vaccines,
Oh,
God, I've been sick as a dog, you guys, and I usually do not get sick. And when I do, it's like really good. It's like every 3 years I get a good one. It
yeah.
turns into a sinus infection. It's very predictable though. I've been on my ass and every day it's a new surprise. I'm like, am I going to have explosive diarrhea today? Am I going to be barfing today? Am I going to not be able to like lift my head off the pillow? Like it's crazy. And all the like I understand like when people got it 2 years ago,
OG.
that had to be the scariest thing ever. Like I'm still checking my
I
oxygen cuz
know.
I've got like coughs, like pneumonia kind of coughs.
I just think everybody listen, we've been dealing with it for so long and there's all these waves of like how you feel about it and now we've been around this thing, but let's make no mistake, it's a virus and it makes you really sick. At end of story. That's it. That's what we know. It's a virus and it makes you sick. And of course there's people that are like, well, I had it and I was mowing my lawn and I had just had open heart surgery and I was fine. And good for you. I'm glad that, you were one of the few that didn't have most of the symptoms, but the symptoms on the light end, because like when Finn got it, he had 2 days where he felt really terrible. When you're sick and you're like, this is bad, and then gets to a point where you're like, oh, no, 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 this is bad. We had one day where I was like, this isn't great. But most of it, because he's like 11 and his body is on high octane, we were in and out in 5 days. Delilah, it was like she went through a revolving door. She was like, I have it, I
3
don't have it.
hours. Yeah, she was
3
like
hours.
tested
I've got the
positive.
sniffles.
Went to bed and then she woke up totally fine. Dash had like 3 days where he wasn't good. My husband was on the antivirals. Those made him sick, but like according to our doctor, the 2
Was the
conversations
best
I've had
choice for him.
was the best choice for him. But like I mean, I fucked around. I found out, you guys, just like Fauci said was gonna happen to me. I didn't
Here's
think
what
I
here's the
didn't think it
camp,
would happen.
but here's the camp I'm in, and I don't think this is gonna take you by surprise, Jen, that you now know that I think I'm bulletproof.
I
Like, I
know,
now
but
think I have a special blood type that is impervious to getting COVID, and I know there's a lot of people out there, and they're like, "I cannot wait to send you a DM about how dumb that is." And then there's another crew that's like, "You know what? I haven't
maybe.
gotten it either. I kinda think the same thing about myself."
I
I'm
know.
like, "Does somebody need to study me?"
That's what I thought. I was reading all these articles about how, like, there's these holdouts that haven't gotten it, and, like, we were one of them. And I don't want you to get it. I don't want you to get it.
I
I
don't
hope
wanna
you don't
get it.
get it. I have a bunch of friends that still haven't gotten it. And here's how I know how
We're
serious
all in a
this
club
is.
together.
Yeah, they all, like, are still in a pod. We're gonna find them in a mountain retreat.
Just know this. Just know this. Well, I didn't get COVID, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I was, like, crapping and shitting at the same time, and I was like, I don't have COVID, but I am 100% sure I have the flu, and this is no joy either. So, like, I went to the doctor and they're like, she was like wearing a hazmat suit, and I'm like, literally, of all of the symptoms that are on the COVID list, I have 0 of them, but I literally cannot stop vomiting.
Yeah, well, I mean, all that stuff's still going around too, which I'm like,
Just regular sick is going around.
I know I never really been that worried about excuse
Oh
me.
boy. Oh
Yep,
god.
there it is.
Oh,
About
if you give
getting
it to me through this microphone, I'm gonna punch you in the leg.
I give it to you through this microphone, they're gonna test me scientifically
Yeah, and
because
you know
we
what?
are
Put you in a
literally
bubble.
16 miles apart, and so
Yeah.
it feels impossible. I know that this is a hardcore situation because I'll tell you, here's how I know. I texted my mom to tell her I
Oh
had it.
shit.
She texted back, so, that's it got real. She was like, "Oh boy, okay,
Here's
what?"
what I can tell you about Jen right now, which I just think she's so darling, but I know that shit ain't good when Jen comes in and she turns to the side and I can see where the pillow has spread her hair apart, and then she puts her headphones on over it and it just bends it. It doesn't push hair back, it just resists. It's like pushes back a curtain, but the curtain is very strong. So in no way have these headphones helped. There might be a haircut in your future, I'm just
I
saying.
I am saying over the last 6 days, besides the COVID, I have developed cystic acne. I have
Oh,
only
shit.
showered twice. I have had to throw away, like Viking funeral, 3 pairs of underpants. I am fully as sick as they come.
How
Oh,
was your, first day of school with being sick? Because no one cares when a mom is sick, but can I just say quickly, Jen has had this for, like, 6 or 7 days, and for 5 days, as a collective, all of us, we said, "You can't do anything for 5 days."
yeah.
So we're not advocating that you try to work through this, because Jen was like, this is as sick as I've ever been, and so she has such compassion for anybody that has it, so if you do have COVID, you do need to take 4 or 5 days off, and or 10 or 20, whatever it is for you to heal. We're podcasting for 30 minutes and she's going back to bed.
You have to. My doctor said, she's like, "Oh, after 5 days of your symptoms," and she's a pretty conservative doctor. She's like, "They're saying this version you're okay." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna be around people. I'm not gonna be around Kristen." Like,
No,
when I'm
well, not
finally
that it
around
would
people,
matter.
we'll be like, I'll be 9, 10 days out, so I'll be totally safe to be around people. But like, I you gotta stay in bed. You gotta take care of yourself. I don't know, like, and
It's a
I'm not being a
virus, you
hero.
guys. It's not a hangover. It's a virus. Your body is going to work against this thing. So you're going to be like depleted by the simple science of your body. So you have to take a break. You have to put yourself first. And you know what? Everything else can fricking wait. We've learned, if it's one thing we've learned, is that everything can be delivered and you can lay down and do a lot from your phone. And
That's
here's my
yeah.
favorite thing. You can text the I think everybody, the problem is we all know that. So we're all like, well, she does have COVID, but can I just send a quick text message? And I was like, no, Kristen, for 5 days, you got to give her space. So then I would just text Casey all of my random questions that had to do with interior design or what way does the
So out of the loop.
what
I
hole
know
does
there's been flooring decisions made while I've been asleep or
it's so true, and I
watching
haven't
Real
enjoyed
Housewives
one
Girls
second of
Trip.
it. I haven't
You
enjoyed
haven't?
1 second of it.
Well, I will tell you, I am literally propped up here to do this podcast, and I'm happy to do it, but I, like, had my husband set it up and all of that stuff. I'm, like, sort of reserving what little energy I have because that's the shocking thing is the fatigue.
Ugh,
Because I'm always very mind over matter over, like, tiredness. I'm like, like, I feel like I could stay up all night to drive somewhere if I had to kinda deal,
not
but, like,
me.
with this, I'm like, I get this, like, wave of heat, nauseous thing that's like, you lay down and then instantly I fall asleep. So I've been reserving, like, my energy to, like, go over the kids' like new classroom packets with them and stuff like
Nope.
that. And that's all I'm doing in a day is just that. Like, because I don't have the
I
energy
haven't done
for
that,
it.
Jen, and I am fine. I haven't done that. I will tell you, just to give you an update, because we haven't talked in a couple days, and that's hasn't happened in 16 years.
That's
Um,
part of what my shakes are, I'm sure.
yeah, we did drop Finn off for his first day of middle school, which is a big deal, and it was his first
Aw,
uniform and his first bus
he looks
and
so
his first
handsome.
he work looks at first private school. It's a Catholic school. Um, first a lot of firsts, so, this is what I did call you yesterday because I was like, I don't know what just happened." So we took Finn to school, and I don't know about anybody else, but this is how my first day of schools generally go. From the time they've been going to, like, daycare, we call it first day of school. I yell a lot in the morning. Everybody runs late.
Sure.
We take
Yeah.
pictures. I make a
Yep.
homemade sign. It looks good because 'cause I'm good at block lettering. I've always been.
You're
And
good at
I
block
put a
lettering,
sign
yeah.
together, first day preschool, first day, you're a hedgehog or you're a badger or whatever it is. I do the signs. We make the signs. I did that, and then I got in my car. This is always what I do. I cry for a good 5 minutes, like a really deep
Oh,
cry, and then I go do errands to get my mind out of it because, like, I'm going through, like, their timeline and pictures, and I'm just emotionally cutting because I,
yeah.
wonder why time is going so fast and how I keep staying the same age. It's weird. So I took Finn. We were so busy, and it was weird because Eleanor started one school and Finn started another, which I don't like that feeling. That's
Yeah,
very different for me.
that's crazy. That hasn't happened in a long time either.
That's never
That's
happened to me because we've always
oh.
had them at the same. Their daycare was the preschool, then they were
Oh!
in school together. Then we had Eleanor at one little preschool until she joined Finn at the elementary school, but it was all the same. It was all these are 2 this is so LA, Nebraska, man. We got our school teacher's name in the mail because there was only one. You were like, "Oh, yeah, it's
You know who it
I knew it."
was. Yeah.
You knew who
Yeah.
it was because you saw her at the grocery store 2 days before, and she was like, "I'm gonna have you in class." And I'm like, "I know, because 'cause you're the only 4th grade teacher. It wasn't
Yeah.
my choice, but we're gonna have to get along together." So she's like, "I've heard about you. It's not all good." I'm like, "Thanks, same. Bye." So I I took him to the bus stop, and he got on that bus, and I felt like somebody had punched me in the mouth. My friend Astrid was there, and I don't like to publicly cry, and she looked at me, and she did one of those smiles like, "Oh, she's feeling things," and I go, "I gotta go,"
Mhm.
and I ugly cried in my car really hard because 6th grade, man, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a whole new world, 6th
It's
grade.
halfway too. It's
It's
halfway
halfway. It's
done.
oh, no, my husband loves to do those numbers things where he's like, "Oh, we only have 7 years left with him. Oh, it's gonna go by so fast. Oh, he's gonna be gone 8 hours a day." I'm like dry heaving. I'm like, "Can you please go somewhere?"
Well,
So
it's also though, it's a hard so he's going to a new school, it's
yep,
further away, and
yes,
let's all admit as mothers that, like, the thing that keeps us sane is the little things that we can control, like,
yes,
it's why I don't like my kids saying "but" because I can control it right now, like,
right.
it's just I'm grasping onto what I can control, and, like, he's entering this world of all this stuff that you can't control, like, you won't know about it, and that's scary,
You
that's
mean
like
like when my son yelled out the word Jesus at the pool in Costa Rica in
I
front of
remember that.
everybody? And
Yeah. What
I 2
but was
things
he praying?
happened. No. He didn't know that, like, that's an ex like, he doesn't know that, like, saying, "Oh God," or "Oh Jesus" is a bad thing, so he said, "Jesus," and it's like I Mother Teresa'd out of that pool and lifted above the water and went over and swept his leg, but he just didn't know, so I was like,
If he goes to Catholic school and says that,
Catholic school and says that, they're gonna get really mad at him, so it feels like everything I was doing right before he got on the bus was like Hail Marys, literally. Okay, Finn, don't talk back. Sit in the front of the class. Don't say Jesus. Don't say God. Don't talk about your privates because we're a very open family. It's different there. Like, don't, make friends. Look for the guy that's sitting by himself. Say hi, smile at everybody, have eye contact, shake hands. Like, I couldn't mother enough. And then got in the car and I felt like everything I knew about mothering, like, I was like, I don't think I'm ready to let the birdie fly. And middle school isn't they're not flying. They're just away from you for more hours.
yeah,
That's what the
yeah,
hard thing is, I think is gonna be, like you said, the lack of control because they're somewhere else and you're just trying to parent from the sidelines.
yeah. Well, you were trying to cram for the test, trying
Yeah.
to, like, get it all in there last minute. He's gonna be totally fine.
I
He's gonna be fine.
know.
There's gonna
I
be, like, new things to learn. My kids too, I we seriously have had this conversation a couple times, and I think this is the one that made sense for my kids because they don't understand, like, why when you pray you say God or, like, you can have a conversation, but then why is it a bad thing to say, like, "Oh God," or "Oh Jesus," and I'm like, "Because you only get to, like, get his attention when it's really important. So don't say, "Oh my god," about like a Roblox game or something like that. Like, you don't it's like crying wolf. You don't wanna get his
Yeah.
attention and
Well,
then
then you
have it
need
be
to have a
for
conversation about the word mom because they throw that around, way too often and with 0 respect. Like, if one more person yells at me from downstairs to upstairs 500 times in a row like Stewie from The Family Guy, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like,
no,
somebody
I'm
needs to go
ignoring it.
over
I'm
God,
ignoring
Jesus,
it.
and mom.
Yeah, I'm ignoring it. I'm like, if it's important enough, you come to me with that thing, and
Right.
also, my husband could learn that too.
Same. I My husband walked in here and I go, can you get out?" That's how we're talking to each other right now. It's so speaking of my husband, he did see that I was more upset than normal on first day woes, and so he was like, I'm such a dork. You'll get this. He's like, "Let's go to bed." He only Finn only had a 3-hour day the first day, but I was still nervous as all get
Yeah.
out. Today is his official first day. I said, Colin goes, "Let's go to Bed Bath& and Beyond so you can get the things we need for the house, and then let's go get some appetizers at a sports bar," which is literally my favorite food. It's
Oh,
embarrassing, but I'm like, something about a 10 set of wings and a Diet Coke sounds delightful. So
that's
we went
perfect.
and we get out. This is where this story gets super weird. This is gonna take a weird left turn. Okay,
What? Okay. I thought the crying was weird enough.
stop. We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to deep dive it. You know how I feel about that. Don't talk about
Mhm.
it, shove it down. Take it out on everybody else around you. That's how you feel. So I get out of the car with my husband and we're going into this local restaurant on a very busy street called Ventura Boulevard, which is kind of like the major thoroughfare through where we live.
It's the
And
main drag.
the main drag, but Bed Bath& and Beyond is across the street. So we parked the car and Colin starts walking really fast down the opposite in the opposite direction, like he's looking at something. And at first, this is so grim, and I don't know why I thought this, but I thought he was seeing like a bad crime, like something bad was happening. And it was at Bed Bath& and Beyond because it was across the street. So I was watching him watch this thing and I got like cold chills. I was like, oh God, whatever he's seeing isn't good. And I do that really Midwesty, weird, panicked scream where I'm like, Colin,
Yeah,
Colin, what are you looking at?
it all
And
goes out the nose.
he goes, "That woman this just happened." And I look across the street as though it wasn't literally 25 feet in front of me. This lovely older woman in her car, in her like SUV, took a right onto Ventura, but she didn't see that there was a light pole to her right and a light pole to her left. And she drove in between them and
Oh
she
my
wedged herself. Like she went fast and she did that thing. Don't get mad at me, people. When sometimes when elderly people drive, they panic and they hit the accelerator. She did that. So she went into these 2 poles very, very fast. So
oh my
she and
god.
it was crazy. It was like somebody had squeezed a tube and the front and the back both came out. So she's stuck in this car. And we just saw it happen. So Colin and I run across the street and it's this really nice Ukrainian woman and she's in there and she's very upset, but she's cool. She's not like totally upset. She's just like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble." And so my husband, he was such a hero. He like turned off her car, made sure she didn't speak very much English. She made sure he made sure that she felt very safe. And then we called her son for her and got him on the phone. And he came. Eventually, a cousin that lived in the neighborhood came to the thing, but we had to
Oh,
pull her out of the car because she was wedged in on the driver's side. And she was so nice. And so she kept asking me, "Can I have your phone number? Can I have your phone number?" So we've been texting.
oh my gosh, she's your new best
She's my new
friend.
best friend. She's super nice. Her husband just passed away. She has 2
Oh,
grandkids, 1 son. She is 90 years old.
oh
She
my
is
god.
like, very, very sweet, but I guess in the meantime, I didn't have any time to think about like, all this happened, and then we had to go pick up our son, and I wonder if in some weird world, I think the universe did 2 things. I think it showed me that, I don't always panic in terrible situations, which I think
Yeah.
badly about myself after Costa Rica because I really crapped out a couple times, and that, when you are there and you do the right thing, you are grateful your parents raised you that way to like stop and help. And so then I'm like putting all that and I'm like, I know Finn would stop. I know Eleanor would stop. Like we've been working really hard to raise kind kids and I felt instantly weirdly comforted.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Is
that's
that weird?
good. No,
Is that
that's
weird?
good because, like, you were where you needed to be at the right time. Like, she needed you, and kind of you needed her in that
Isn't it
moment
weird?
too.
I
Yeah,
know. And
no,
she's
it's
like,
perfect.
it was just this weird moment. And the accident, like her car is totaled. But she didn't have any injuries, thank goodness, and it just looked like your eyes couldn't make sense of why this car was wedged between 2 poles,
I
but
know, that's one of those embarrassing ones too that you don't wanna have to keep having that conversation with insurance about,
yeah,
because
I
you're
think you
like,
get 1,
I think
and
my
then they're
answer is I
like,
don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the poll. I don't that's why I have insurance.
I mean, in all fairness to her, I could see how it happens. My husband was like, "I absolutely do not see how this could happen," and I'm like, "Well, you y
He didn't.
sir, I've seen you drive, you would just keep going and that pole would be gone."
Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, that's g I'm so glad that you were there for her, and
It was
you're
nice.
really hard on yourself. You are much better in scary moments than you give yourself any credit for.
I think I'm good with, like, blood, poop, and barf, but I'm not good at scary locations that I didn't, preemptively check the location with a reservation. That's where I freak. That's
You
where I
know what?
freak
Anybody would. Anybody would. I do. Okay, hold on one second. My brain is not working.
because 'cause you've got a virus that started a global pandemic. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you know.
That's what
It's
my
called
husband keeps
COVID.
telling me when I'm like, "I'm so mad and I'm so frustrated because I can't, like, do this thing or whatever." He's like, "It's a pandemic."
Friendly reminder, Jen, you exist at 110%. You can come down a lot and give yourself a break and just take the time to literally watch Housewives and drink Gatorade and crap when you need to and barf when you need to and let everything go until you're better. That you're allowed to do that. That's okay.
Alright, that's what I've kind of been forcing myself to do because did I tell you this part? I can't taste anything.
Oh, that's so weird. I know people have done I must everything must be like shitty oatmeal or like unseasoned grits.
It's not even that. It sort of almost feels like your mouth is numb. Where like, because I COVID fucked my birthday. It did. I'm gonna be celebrating big and bad in a couple weeks here because it my husband got me cupcakes and he's like, "I just got every flavor they had
Whoa.
because to see which one you could maybe taste
None of
because
them?
the only one that gave me, like, any indication of, like, "Oh, this is a like, not sour cream or mashed potatoes," was the sugar on the top, like, raw sugar on the top of one of them. Like,
I
I
think those
could
were jalapenos, Jen. I'm not gonna I think he got a jalapeno cupcake
you
and
know
you're
what? It
like,
was nice.
with
It was
sugar
nice then,
crystals.
and that explains all the gassiness and heartburn too that I
You gotta
had.
chill. You gotta just chill and take care of yourself. That's it. Because if you don't, you're gonna make this thing it's gonna be worse, and you don't
I
want it to be
know.
worse.
I know, I'm gonna lay down. I'm going
Lay
to. I
down.
do you have a hot flash or you have a mom box? Because
Oh, I
I
thought you were
have
like
a
I was like, "Hey, calm down, man.
oh,
Things are
no.
happening, but I'm just sweaty from the AC. I'm sure the rest's coming later." It's usually after 3. I have a hot flash.
Hot flash, hot flash. Hot flash.
I don't wanna give too much away because I don't think you've watched the whole thing, but I'm having a love affair with a TV show, and I'm always looking for a good new series. So, like, anybody out there listening that has a new series that they're, like, really in love with, I'm really in love with The Bear on
Oh,
Hulu.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, I will say this, when I watched the pilot, I was like, "Nah, not gonna watch it. It's too high strung. It almost has, like, too many edits where, like, I feel like I'm watching, SpongeBob SquarePants where it's gonna, like, make my ADHD worse."
Oh,
And
yeah.
in the tension, it's just like I was like, "Oh, my heart rate's up, like, I'm not gonna sleep. I need something else." But I gave it another go. I gave it to episode 2, and I was like, "Oh, no. I love this show." And I don't just love it because of the lead, who is my hot flash. His name is Jeremy Allen White. I love it because of the entire supporting cast. The whole dynamic in this restaurant makes me so happy, and if you've ever worked in restaurants, they are nailing it.
Ooh.
There is something that's happening in this show that I've never experienced before, and I think it's this combination of making food, a character in it that you don't
Ah.
even know it's happening. Like, I feel like I can taste the food. I feel like I'm experiencing a show in 4D. Something's happening that is so unique to this show, but mostly what I was gonna say is Jeremy Allen White, who is the lead, also was on Shameless, should not be attractive, is so totally attractive. He's got the Adam Driver thing, where if you described him, you would think
Nope.
that guy shouldn't be hot.
Yeah, but
So hot. Like,
it's his
so
vibe.
it's his vibe, it's his eyeballs, it's the way he, like his hair is messy, he's brooding, he needs me. I think
He doesn't need me. All of
he's
these
good with
things
the
work for me.
he's good at making meat. I just I think I'm
Well,
turned on half the time. I don't know if it's the cuisine or him, but they're both coming in real hot. I highly recommend all of the above.
I know that has been recommended to me, before to watch while I am bedbound, and I am going to watch it, especially now because 'cause I'll get to vicariously taste food. So that sounds wonderful.
What if it kicks your what if it kicks your taste buds and smell back just by simply being compelled? Oh god, I am bulletproof. It's like everything coming out of my mouth is like,
Oh
have I
god.
become even smarter because of not getting COVID? Is that what's happening?
You're
I'm like,
jinxing yourself. You are right now you are that guy on the show The Jinxed. That what is that? The Jinx that what's that guy who, like, murdered everybody and then it
"Oh my god," and then he goes to the bathroom and he's like,
he's like, "I
"I
did
did
it.
it."
I totally did
You know,
it. Wait,
that would
is
be
this a
me.
microphone?"
You
Yeah.
know, I'd be in the crapper and I'd be like, "God, I've got COVID." You know,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what's gonna happen, is
I
I'm gonna
said it the day before I was like, "Uh-oh, I better take a
"You
COVID
dead?"
test." I literally said it, and I was like, "Man, I just didn't get it." And then I was like, "I better get it
Meanwhile, there's
tomorrow."
me and I've taken 1,000 tests because we have construction dust and I'm generally surly, and so I'm like, "Well, I don't feel right." And then I'm like, "No, I'm just in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood and there's construction dust and I'm living with my family in a tiny house."
Well,
And,
that was one thing that I knew was I brought my kids to, like, get new lunch boxes last week, for school, and they were so bad. They were so naughty. I was like, "Well, that's it. Nobody's getting new lunch boxes. You can use last year's lunch boxes. They cost too much money anyways. That's it."
yeah.
And then I
You
was
know
like,
what? You know what you figure out when you're sick? You're like, "How much really matters?" Because a lot of shit doesn't matter. And, like,
"It's true."
right now, we're living in this tiny house, and I was like, "What do I really need?" Like, I have been wearing the same clothes, which I'm sure you guys have all seen. I've been wearing the same clothes on a rotation. Like, I have, like, 4 things that I wear, top and bottom. It's all I need. It's all I need.
If anything is hard to, like, sleep in or get off, I'm not wearing it, and I might just stay this way forever. Like, I don't
That's it's a good takeaway, man.
it really I'm gonna buy scrubs, and I'm just gonna wear
Oh,
those because I heard they're
I used
really
to wear scrubs
comfy.
in college, and I thought they were so sexy. I was like, "Somebody's gonna think I'm a doctor."
You love a uniform, though. You love yourself in uniform.
I do love a uniform. I can get honestly, and that's one of the best things about middle school right now is he's got a uniform and he looks so fresh. But anyway, I digress. Do we have a mom box?
I do.
I
Hold on.
While Jen looks for it, I just wanna say we are getting so many funny comments about the lifeguard clip, and if you haven't seen it, it is it is Jen making sweet fun of me, and it seems to be a real sweet spot for everybody, so you're welcome. And those lifeguards, good God.
They were easy on the eyes, that's for sure. They
I was
were,
like, "Is it weird that I take a selfie with them while they're trying to rescue someone? Is it weird
parking
that I take
difficult.
a selfie while I try to make them rescue me?"
Oh, we've gotten so many nice messages. Oh, okay, but hold on, I'm trying to find this one.
Oh god, here we go.
Nope, this
I don't
isn't
know.
gonna I do know who that dancer guy is.
Well,
God, you
we're
guys,
that
I
Jen,
got a
we're not gonna
fever.
go down that road because 'cause you've got COVID, and by the time you figure that out, there will be a new virus.
No, no, no. I figured out who the guy is. Shit, hold on, my phone's sick too. Okay, where is
I
it? Oh, here it is. I got it. I got it. I got it.
okay.
Okay. I love this one because usually we don't get the young people, the hipsters, the millennials, the Gen Zers messaging us, but we did. This is Aaron M. message us to say, "Hi, Kristen and Jen. My name is Aaron. I'm 26 years old and I'm from Ontario, Canada. I've been watching your videos and listening to your podcast for a while now, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. I've always had pretty severe anxiety. Separation anxiety has been the bane of my existence for as long as I can remember, and I recently had to move away from my mom for work. It's only 2 hours, but I'm used to her literally being down the street. And I've been alone for the last few months, and my anxiety has been running wild, and it's been really tough. I know if I asked, my mom would be okay with me calling and just keeping her on the phone all day, but that's not realistic. So I turned to your podcast initially as something to listen to that wasn't true crime, but it quickly felt like I was just hanging out with my mom. I
I
know. As we went about our day, and the sense of comfort it gave me is immeasurable. While I might not be a mom, I just wanted to say that your podcast, videos, shows, and book do so much for so many people, regardless of whether or not they're parents. And I'm so thankful that you continue to invite us into your lives and share the laughs and the lessons and the love. On a personal note, thank you for helping make a really challenging time seem more manageable."
Casey, I need you to get her address. I'm gonna
I
come
know.
over.
We're going to send her a care
Jen
package.
can't right now, but I can go over there. There's nothing
She's in
I don't
Canada, Kristen. Just mail
I
it. Come
don't
on.
want to be in this tiny house. She needs me.
We gotta go up there. I'm
She
getting
needs
better,
me.
Aaron. I'm getting better. As soon as I am plane worthy, we're
You know
gonna
what I
bring you a care
appreciate?
package.
You know what I appreciate about her and what makes you so strong, lady, is that, like, it's okay to admit that you're scared. It's okay to admit that, like,
Yes.
big changes, like moving away from your family, it is hard and it hurts. It's achy, but you one foot in front of the other. And also, as hard as it is, you got to go out and try to meet people because that makes a big difference. That it's loneliness, man. And I think it's fair to be like, loneliness stinks. It gives all of us anxiety, and it gives all of us a feeling of like, does the world know I'm here? Does anything It's not enough just to go to work. You gotta go, I don't know, some people find friends at church, some people find friends at a pub called the church. That's where
Yep. No,
I
that's
don't know,
not
I
what
made a lot of
we're
friends
not
when I
advising that. We are not
I'm
medical
not I'm
professionals.
not advising it, but it's Canada, so they're reasonable. You can go to a pub there,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
fine.
make sure, do go to a medical professional, if the anxiety gets too overwhelming and you can't live your life. But like, just, this is what I love about moms and what doing I Mom So Hard has taught me is like all women have this like inborn ability to like just take good care of each other and like unfettered, like that's what happens. And Aaron, girl, even you can be the woman that wedges a Ukrainian woman out of her car when you're having a bad day. Doesn't matter how bad your day is, we can lift each other up. So
That's right, and so
you
you give
got
us
this,
your
lady,
address.
and we're gonna
I'm
lift you.
we're I've got a home
Take an
renovation coming
airplane.
going. I'm not enjoying, my
Nope.
roommates currently, so I feel like just in the interim, and then, I'm just gonna be the buffer between your new life and your mom, and, like, it'll be great. By the time you're settled, we'll go out socially to connect with people. I will leave, and my house will be done, and I will let the birdie fly, and all will be well. So just let me know where to go, Aaron,
Yeah.
and I will move in.
Hopefully, I'll have a sense of taste by then. So
Yeah, because Canada has good food, so we
You
gotta
do.
we do remember that sea bass was so good. You probably don't wanna talk about sea bass. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening.
I
This is a
think we
#IMOMSOHARD podcast. I
podcasted.
think we're done.
We podcasted. Bye.